Hey, today on Inside LAFC, we join you from Bank of California Stadium. It's quiet here now. It certainly will be a lot louder come Sunday, following Wednesday, a busy time for LAFC. And glad you could join us here from our spot here at our desk. I am Max Bretos, joined by Francisco X Rivera, who's from 980 KFWB, La Mera Mera, yes, covering LAFC in Spanish. But you're here because this is a fun time to follow this team right now.
Oh, I'm happy. I think this is a perfect opportunity to be able to talk LAFC. Great environment, great mood around the team, so I think this was the right time.
Much more. What's ahead on the program? Well, let me tell you, we're going to get to know André Horta a little better. He may be joining the team. He's available this weekend. He might be playing for the first time this season. We'll also have BEITA Time, as BEITA will be joined by Tyler Miller, and Tyler had a heroic performance this past weekend. As always, I will speak with the man in charge, Bob Bradley, and Johnny HEKKER, Rams punter, was the Falconer. We'll get his thoughts on that honor and everything about LAFC. He is a big fan as well. We're very thrilled to be talking to him very shortly. But now the latest news, and it all begins up front, Francisco, and that is with Adama Diomande keeps scoring goals, now up to 9. I mean, you've covered this league a long time. Have you seen anything quite like this?
Well, we all talk about Adama Diomande's scoring streak, but we have to talk about the gap he filled when Marco Ureña was down due to injury and then when he went to the World Cup. The way he posts up, the way he stays in the edge of the area with his back to the goal, creating spaces and opportunities, doing the dirty work, stepping inside the box, blocking goalkeepers' visibilities just like Ureña used to do, and then even blocking the mobility of other defenders just like he did in the game against Orlando City when Chris Schüller came in. He steps in front of him, then he pops up, gets into position and scores. So all that dirty work, I think that's been a perfect addition for LAFC.
And now Marco Ureña is back, and not to be outdone, he started 2 games of the World Cup for Costa Rica, which is a huge achievement. And now you have this competition developing, and that's certainly going to be a good thing for LAFC.
Yeah, if you ask me, I would go for Ureña first because
Ureña started ahead of Diop.
Yes, because he pretty much carried this team alongside Carlos Vela in the first 2 months of the season. I mean, a lot of people look at the goals and the assists, but Ureña, it's true, he didn't score, but at the same time, all the dirty work and all the things,
well, yeah.
right, all the things he did moving off the ball, I think that's great. And then you also have Dio, who has been very effective, pretty much flawless when scoring. You can have him come off the bench, and if the outcome of the game is not going the way it's supposed to go, then you have a lethal finisher, the killer instinct of Dio.
So we may not be 100% sure who's going to be the starter at the top of the attack. We know Carlos Vela's back. He came off the bench. If he's healthy, that's the last time he's going to come off the bench this season. But he was really happy to be back. This is again, depth everywhere, including at your top position.
Well, you talk about happiness. Carlos Vela has to be happy to come back. I mean, I've covered the national team, as you know, for 5 years. And, you know, the mood around it can get very toxic, that mediatic pressure. So Carlos Vela has to be very happy to stay away from it. Come back to LA, more laid-back environment. Now, what he can provide on the field, you can use him on the flank, or you can use him as a creative midfielder, which has worked great. But in the game against Portland, I would rather use a third midfielder, a guy like Lee Nguyen, who did a lot of sacrifice work in the game against Orlando. It worked perfectly.
Very interesting. You said Carlos Vela is going to be very excited to be back, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from him about him returning to LAFC.
Me pone muy contento ver que están haciendo un gran trabajo, que el entrenador, el club, los jugadores están en una línea muy positiva. Y ahorita lo que me toca es unirme a eso, unirme a la buena dinámica, al buen ritmo que llevan todos y aportar lo más que pueda al equipo para terminar la temporada lo más alto posible y poder luchar por cosas importantes.
The whole band's back together, the whole rhythm section, everything. They have a matchup coming up Sunday against Portland. They play them again in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. Both games will be right here at Bank of California Stadium. Portland got off to a slow start, but I think when you came into the Western Conference, this was the target. This was the team that finished first a season ago. This is the team you go after. So you throw in the fact that LAFC lost them earlier this season. There's a lot at play here.
Well, it's a one-on-one game. There's no denying that Portland's a very tough team, but you have to win the battle in the trenches, the battle in midfield. And I'm not necessarily talking about possession, because if you look at the stats from the first time around, LAFC had a 59 possession split, which is great, but they still allowed 21 scoring chances for Portland. A lot of times they were caught short-handed in wide spaces, off guard, like in the second goal by Armenteros, in which he gave the win to Portland. So you need to add that third midfielder that I was mentioning to. André Horta is available. He can even start. You know, Lee Nguyen once again, because if you recall that game, Bob Bradley went back to a line of 3, giving a lot of freedom to BEITA and to Harvey on the flanks. But that puts a lot of pressure on Benny and Nkay. And that's why I think they couldn't really handle Portland's feisty, harsh midfield composed by Chara, Christian Paredes, the youngster, who's, by the way, signed by America, 21 years old from Paraguay. So I think those guys were very physical, and that really hurt LAFC.
And I remember when Bob Bradley was asked after that game, he said he thought that game could have been had at LAFC. And it's worth mentioning about Portland. They are a great home team. They struggle a bit on the road, but they have enough class with guys like Emilio Armenteros. I did get a chance to speak to Bob Bradley earlier in the week. He talked about a special new face in LA, but before we get to that, he talked about how he's going to prepare for the Timbers. 2 games coming up against Portland, 1 in league play Sunday, and then you have the U.S. Open Cup. How does that affect your preparations?
Interesting to play back-to-back. Not really like a 2-leg situation because 2 different competitions. For us, the league match is a good test because when we went to Portland, I thought that in transition they caused some trouble. The second goal is a moment where they're on the break and we don't put out the fire quick enough, and Armenteros continues and scores an excellent goal. He's been in a good run of form since. He's a good player. So those are things that we have to be on top of. And then a few days later, we turn it around in an Open Cup situation where obviously the winner advances. So that can take on a little different type of level. But for us to grow as a team, these are important tests.
All right, Bob, we've asked a lot of the players. I'd love to get your opinion on your reaction to LeBron James coming to LA.
Awesome. All right. LeBron is such a great player, but also I have respect for him as a man, the way he speaks. He's intelligent. He's a complete player. He's a leader. He's a winner. And so I think in terms of what goes on in LA sports, it's fantastic for LeBron to become a big part.
So LeBron, it's here for you anytime. Open invite. I got the keys. I don't have the keys, but I know someone who does, and I can get you inside. Get you some good seats too. There's another big star that's on the move as well when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, who is now headed to Juventus, and it is worthy to mention here because MLS All-Stars, August 1st, we'll be playing Juventus. Hopefully we'll see Cristiano Ronaldo, and we have a couple of LAFC players involved there.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player. I'm going to talk about what he is here in the United States. He's a pop culture phenomenon. He's the guy that can bring attraction to the league. And going back to the scenes, when you were not here in LA, he came to Rodeo Drive on a shopping spree. And you know what? People were trying to get in his face, trying to take pictures with him. You know, it was tumultuous. It was a commotion.
It wasn't to get away from the noise. It's more noise for Cristiano.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's great for the guys that are non-hardcore soccer followers here in the United States. And especially when you talk about Juventus, they've won a lot of straight Serie A titles. They have guys like Dybala, like Higuain, like Pjanic, but those guys might not mean much to the non-hardcore soccer player here in the U.S. But if you win against a Juventus team that has Cristiano Ronaldo, that's a huge win in my book. And not only my book, it has to be in everybody's book.
Even if he doesn't play, to play Juventus, which has a huge future ahead of him with Cristiano, is very exciting. I'd say it's pretty exciting for the Italian league as well. We'll see where Cristiano Ronaldo can take the club and that league ahead. All right, much more Francisco here, and we're going to return here on Inside LAFC. Coming up, it is BEITA time. Our Stephen BEITA Show will sit down with Tyler Miller, the man of the match from the last game, and we'll get to know André Horta a little bit better, hoping to make his debut. My favorite time of day here as we get into twilight here in Los Angeles. It's a beautiful place to experience it here at Banc of California Stadium. You could do that too. It may not be as quiet as it is now, but you like it when it is rowdy, and the 3252 is going to be there Sunday as they chase the Timbers. Francisco X Rivera is here with me. We're going to get into LAFC and the team that they possess, but right now let's take a look at the injury update brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. And Edward Atuesta dealing with the ankle injury. He will be out again this weekend. And Francisco, not injury related, but Omar Gabber was bought by LAFC from the Swiss team Basel, and now he's been sold to Pyramid FC. So he's off to Egypt. We'd like to wish Omar the best luck in his ventures there. Maybe we see him back here one day.
Yeah, I mean, these are two guys that I would have loved to see against Sporting. Eduardo Atuesta was brought in the second half by Bob Bradley, and he's a guy that can put that pause, that can hold midfield, that can start to build up and get the ball and then create for LAFC. And then Omar Gabber had 7 crosses in that match against Sporting. He's a guy that you would need on the flank. I wish him the best. He's super famous. You know, he's a celebrity with like 20 million followers total on all social media. He's a great guy. So, yeah, we wish him the best.
And we know Bob Bradley wishes him the best because they had such a great relationship from Bradley's days when he was in charge of the Egyptian national team. You mentioned no Atuesta, but it's one less problem for Bob Bradley and the coaching staff, because I look at this Gabber can play midfield or maybe the fullback. And for Atuesta as a midfield, you look at the guys who can be in that midfield. Horta's going to come in. Vela, Rossi, Blessing, Wynn, Benny, Mark Anthony Kay. It is loaded. I mean, that is not, there's not enough room for everybody. And the big decision now for Bob Bradley and LAFC is who gets to play, who comes in, and how you manage all of that.
I think it is a problem to have too many guys. I mean, it's a good problem to have.
But it's a problem.
But at the same time, the biggest problem to me, and sorry for insisting this, but Atuesta is the only guy that's different from them.
Right.
He's the only natural defensive midfielder.
Ball winner, yeah.
At the same time, I saw a very interesting thing during practice this week. They were playing like an 8 against 8 scrimmage with André Horta actually playing with a blue jersey. So he's handling the attack for both sides, whoever has the ball. So that's how high Bob Bradley thinks of André Horta. He thinks he's the guy that can guide the orchestra, that can be the creator in midfield, something that could push Carlos Vela to one of the flanks. This is a great problem to have, but I'm excited what we can do, especially with an Open Cup matchup coming up against Portland.
Okay, Francisco, whether he plays Sunday, whether he plays at the U.S. Open Cup, he is going to play. They've invested a lot in André Horta, spent a lot of money in the transfer, bringing him from Portuguese soccer. He's a DP. He is here for that reason. Speaking of André Horta, bit of a mystery to all of us, but that's going to change very soon. Let's pull back the curtain and get to know him a little better.
I was born in Portugal, in a city was named Almada. I have 6 years, and I saw my brother play in a club that's named Correios, near of our house. And when I was 7 years old, I play too, and I play well and continue to play. And now I'm here in LA. I first heard about LAFC 1 year ago, I think in August.
We were consistent in our pursuit of him and certainly informing him of what opportunity he has here.
In October, I meet the coach, and he passed to me the ideas of the club, the ideas of the team are playing. And I like the way that the things are running well. I think I choose the best for me.
And I think, again, like with some of our other players, it's testament to not just LAFC, but the league, that these players with very good options are coming here as they are launching their careers.
I choose LAFC because it's the team that showed that want me more. I have a part of this project, and for me it's enough. I'm really passionate for this.
We were really certain that he was the right player to add to our team. So we were patient and we waited, and I think all of us are ready now to move him forward and get him on the field.
It's rare to have a player of his age, quality, experience, pedigree, background, and we just think he'll be a great fit for how we play, and not just day one, but long into the future.
For me, it's the possibility, like I say, to make history, and being part of the first group of people to dress this jersey. It's an honor to me.
All right, we'll get to know André Horta together a little bit better. All right, Francisco, that was a lot of fun.
Max and the X. This is a new thing now.
Francisco, we'll do it again. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks so much, Max.
Coming up, Johnny HEKKER. He's a mountain of a man. He punts for the Rams, and he was the Falconer for LAFC, and he loves the sport. Had a chance to talk with him. And yes, as we do every week, it's beta time.
It's a decent looking effort and a wonder goal. Oh, Simon, it's in! Braun couldn't keep it out. It is history. Lauro Simon, the first goal in Bank of California Stadium history.
Black and gold, shoulder to shoulder, right here in the city on YouTube TV.
Can't be here enough. Our home away from home, and that is for all LAFC fans and supporters, Bank of California Stadium. This is Inside LAFC. And last couple weeks, we gave Steven BEITA a lot of responsibility, and he has responded in a big way. Because quite frankly, the players are going to give him information they won't give me. As nice as I am, they'll talk to Steven BEITA. And now it's BEITA time. BEITA joined by Tyler Miller.
We've got another edition of BEITA Time here, and today I've got Tyler Miller, our keeper. Thanks for being out here with me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so for the people out there that don't know, you're quite a gamer. What games do you like to play, when you're not playing soccer?
Typically, I'll play Fortnite a lot with Walker and Aaron Kovar. And then I also play some Rocket League and PUBG with Callum.
So this PUBG and Fortnite,
yeah,
aren't they the same thing? Like, why are you playing them both?
I mean, they are the same thing theoretically in terms of there's 100 people that drop into a map, but in the game itself, Fortnite, you have the ability to build, whereas PUBG, you're just running around finding guns and trying to kill other players.
So basically it's the same thing. You just want to play on your phone and
pretty much.
Play 24/7.
I'm not as addicted as Walker is to the game. He's playing constantly in the locker room before the games. When we had that long delay in Houston, I was playing then though, too. But Walker honestly is on it all the time.
Besides gaming, what do you enjoy if you have any time left off the field?
Typically for me off the field, I like to go down to the beach. Living 9 blocks from there, it's something that I've never been able to do. And then I also like to cook. I tend to do a lot of barbecues and cook out for guys whenever they want to come over.
Nice, dude. Well, what's your go-to cook? And maybe one time I can get a little invite. That'd be nice.
I mean, I have invited you many times, but you refuse to drive over. But my go-to is chicken parm. I make a nice good chicken parm.
All right, this is true. He has invited me for some chicken parm, but the convenience factor just wasn't happening. All right, so
it just doesn't live up to his wife's cooking.
This is true. Fact. Wifey cooking's always the best. So you guys do carpool. You, Kovar, and Walker.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's on the radio? Who's controlling the radio?
It's whoever's driving controls the radio, and typically when I'm driving, I either play a mix of country, I play Milky Chance radio, or I'll be playing a little bit of hip hop. Sometimes that gets me going in the mornings. But then when Kovar's driving, he'll play podcasts, and Walker usually sticks to country.
So are you guys talking a lot on the road, or are you just like quiet listening to the music?
There are a few words that are shared, but typically we're just relaxing. We're waking up from our day.
Fair enough.
It's tough to get out and just get into a conversation right away.
Yeah.
We like to get into the day peacefully.
Especially in the morning.
Especially
peacefully.
in the morning.
Just throw on the radio.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we got Portland coming up.
Yeah.
Obviously, last time we played them at their place wasn't a good result for us.
Yeah.
So what can the fans expect from us, and what can they expect, with an undefeated streak at the Bank, and how are we going to perform?
Yeah, I think looking at it from when we played Portland the first time to when we're playing Portland now, we're a completely different team. The style of how we're playing, we're a much more dynamic team. We're definitely finding little pockets in the middle and being able to play through and play confidently as well. And we've also added several additions that will be key in this game, so I think it's going to be a completely different result, different game from when we first played them in Portland.
Amazing. All right. Well, I like it. I think the fans are excited to see us this weekend, and hopefully we get another clean sheet. We haven't had one of those in a little while. So
yeah, it'll be nice. Get that back on there.
Get that clean sheet. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
As always, thank you, Steven BEITA. Really enjoyed that. Okay, if you've been to Bank of California Stadium or maybe catch the game on YouTube TV, you've seen a man or a woman walk out here with the Falcon on their arm. It's a spectacular vision, and the Falcon flies. It's one of the great traditions in all of Major League Soccer, and very select few get to fly the Falcon. This past week, it was Johnny HEKKER, Rams punter. I got a chance to talk with him. I just want to let you know he is very tall. We're here with LA Rams punter Johnny HEKKER, who's going to be the Falconer today, Bank of California. I'm going to get to that in a moment.
Okay.
First of all, I'm a lot older. I remember when these punters were about my size, maybe a little.
Yeah.
You look like you could be a linebacker out there.
I hate my Wheaties. Yeah, I have fun. We got a great strength program, but no, it's an honor to be out here. All these soccer players are top athletes in the world, so I'm just excited to be sharing the pitch with them for a moment.
And you love the sport. You've been watching the World Cup.
Yep.
This is a passion for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Something I grew up playing. My brothers and I all played. Got to play together for a couple games, and it's something that I treasure. So it's a great sport and something that's been part of my life since I was little.
LAFC games. So you've been at a few of the games. You've been following it pretty closely.
Yeah, I try and catch them whenever they're on TV. If I can even catch them in Espanol, I'll catch that and just try and follow along. But I love it. You know, they're definitely my team.
Right, full-on fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
This fan's all in. So the Rams, this is a new stadium here. Your guys' place is starting to come together as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. Ours is taking a little bit longer than this one
did, but
it's an incredible stadium here at Bank of California. You know, I think what they've done is incredible in the time span that they've done it. You know, I'm just honored to be here, and all the fans that come here are getting a world-class experience.
Yeah, we love it. All right, let's talk about the Falcon.
Okay.
You got Ollie today. Ollie's the one who gets after it.
Right.
So how have you prepared for this?
You know, I watched a couple falconing videos online, and I do need to say I am nervous, but I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great opportunity to go out and just do something I've never done in my life, and do it in front of some rabid fans. It'll be great.
What do you think about the team? How do you judging how they've been going along so far?
I mean, they're doing great. I mean, I think to be where they're at in the West standings, you know, as a brand new startup program means a lot. And I mean, coach is doing a great job, and getting a couple guys back from the World Cup will be great.
Yeah.
You know, I think all things are going up forward.
Some guys at the Rams, are you getting them into the sport as well?
Guys are already in. I mean, you know, FIFA is one of the most popular games.
I hear it all the time. That's fantastic.
So, you know, guys are into it, and I think having a team a little bit closer, even sharing a parking lot with us while we're in the Coliseum, definitely kind of drew us a little closer to this team, and the guys on the team are great as well.
It's a great point. Coliseum right there. Brothers together. LA sports coming together. Yep. Best of luck. I'm glad you watched some falconing videos.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a big job.
It
You're going to be great at it.
I appreciate it.
Johnny HEKKER.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And introducing our honorary Falconer tonight, please welcome from your Los Angeles Rams, number 6, Johnny HEKKER.
Incredible. That was wild. Ollie was a beauty, and I was honored to be out here, man. It's incredible. Fans loved it. Ollie is a star. Ollie's a real star of this whole thing. So I'm just glad. LAFC, let's do some work. Let's get this win. 3 points, baby.
Thanks for Johnny and for the LA Rams and for the LA Chargers for that matter. You are welcome here at the bank. Okay, so Wednesday night coming up, it's the US Open Cup. LAFC will face Portland Timbers again. By then, those two teams are going to hate each other, and it's all on the line. Quarterfinal matchup, a spot in the semifinal awaits. Check LAFC.com for tickets. You can get them for $20. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be a magical night. As to how LAFC got here, let's take a look.
Hey, LAFC, I'm gonna bring trophy to Los Angeles. First of all, I told you Open Cup is my game, you know. I just love this game so much, you know. So I'm gonna work hard for LA to win this trophy. I promise, I'm gonna work hard.
I don't know, but he said his name is famous in this tournament. So after you say that, you better score, you know, you gotta score every game.
Good run from Rossi on a diagonal. Rossi into the 18. Rossi! Crosses it, Blessing in the goal! On the back post, Latif Blessing is there, and Diego Rossi unselfishly makes it 3-2 as Blessing pops it in! Yes! We love
it! Can you believe it? 3 wins, and LAFC is going to have to build a trophy cabinet. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's certainly within reach. We'll see if the guys can get it done on Wednesday night. Make sure you're there as well. All right, so this program here is not just for us, for the players, it's for everyone involved with LAFC, and that includes the fans, the supporters, who are a huge part of everything this club does. So we want to open up for you and show some of the great things you're doing, because LAFC is not just an LA brand, it's a global brand. And how do I know this? Because LAFC is everywhere. Take a look at where we see some LAFC hats, shirts, accessories. This is in Machu Picchu. Very hard to scale there in Peru. LAFC fans are up there. A British pair on their honeymoon. They're coming to LA and they're going to see an LAFC game. Welcome to all of you. This is your club as well. We're glad to see LAFC is broadening its horizons. And even in Gibraltar, do you know where that is? I'm not 100% sure where it is either, but I will say it is, I do know this. It's very small and recently came into recognition of UEFA and FIFA, so they have a national team. And that is very cool. Maybe one day they'll be in the World Cup. And that brings us to fan trivia. I want to get your answers to my questions. Drop me the answers at Bretos ESPN, my Twitter account, or the LAFC account, whatever is easiest for you. We're going to get the answers. So here it is. We saw Croatia reach the World Cup final. They're going to be playing on Sunday. They are not the smallest country to play in a World Cup final. But my question, who is the smallest country to play in a World Cup final? Who is it? The smallest country playing a World Cup final? Drop your answers to me, Bretos ESPN, or the LAFC account. That is all the time we have. I hope you enjoyed it. Much more great programming coming your way. We'll see you next time. Max Bretos signing off from the bank.